As a former CEO of this amazing charity, I'm proud to be able to stay involved in championing their work. This includes finding and supporting smaller organisations and their unique initiatives which make a real difference to children and their families going through the cancer journey. One of those is Spread a Smile, and I'm excited to be able to talk with their CEO, Lucy Jackson, about what they do. Lucy, thank you for joining us today. Tell us, how did Spread a Smile come to life?
So Spread a Smile started in 2013 after the nephew of one of our co-founders, Josephine, after her nephew Aaron was diagnosed with cancer when he was 9 years old. And Aaron's family spent lots of time trying to cheer him up when he was in hospital. They took games and toys and presents, and friends went to visit him, and nothing could cheer him up until his Auntie Josephine brought a magician to see him. And suddenly he was this changed child. He was smiling and he was happy and he was laughing. And I know that night he called his brothers, and instead of telling them about the chemo and any horrible treatment that he had that day, he was talking excitedly about the magician and all the tricks that he'd seen. And his Auntie Josephine promised him that when he was better, she would arrange for more magicians, more entertainers to see children in a similar situation.
Wow.
And she teamed up with her friend Vanessa, and the charity started from there. And I'm pleased to report that Aaron is now 21. He's just finished uni, doing amazingly well.
God, that's great to hear. What a great auntie, Auntie Josephine.
Auntie Jojo.
Auntie Jojo. Yeah. That's incredible. So what do you find with your experience as CEO of Spread a Smile? How do you see it impacting the children that you're able to reach?
Spread a Smile has a massive, massive impact on not only the children we reach, but also their families as well. So imagine these kids who have been in hospital days, weeks, months, sometimes years, having horrible treatment. They've just been dealt horrible, horrible news about their diagnosis. And it's just, it's rubbish. And they're missing out on so much of their childhood being in hospital. And it's so stressful, it's so anxiety inducing, and everyone's coming into their room is there to poke or prod or give them some more news that they don't want to hear. And then suddenly Spread a Smile turn up, and we are there bringing them light and laughter and something that's always appropriate for their age. So we have magicians, we have singers, we have fairies, we have singing fairies, we have a spontaneous poet, we have therapy dogs, we have artists, and we all spend 5 to 10 minutes at the child's bedside in hospital, just bringing them a distraction from their day, reducing their stress, reducing their anxiety, enhancing their well-being emotionally, physically, providing just a much-needed distraction from everything they're going through.
And a happy memory of hospital rather than just wall-to-wall nightmarish ones.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah. And I often, whenever I get to go on the visits, which I don't often because I have no discernible talent when it comes to singing or magic.
I don't know, you could hold a dog.
I could hold a dog, just about. Although it's always trying to get back to its owner when I'm holding it. I always love watching, whenever I go into hospital, I love watching the faces of the parents and just watching them watch their child smile. And some of them say, I just thought I would just never see them smile again. Or it's been so long since I've seen that. And then to watch, for them to say to watch their children's faces. There was one dad I was talking to once, and he said to me that on a Thursday, when we go to Great Ormond Street, every Thursday we go to Great Ormond Street, and he would follow our entertainers around the ward, around one of the oncology wards, and he would just watch these kids, because he was there day after day watching these kids be so miserable. And just suddenly then to see them with our entertainers and watch them smiling, he said was an amazing thing.
That must be just incredible to be ahead of an organisation that brings happiness where you would just never expect it to be.
Yes, that's exactly it. And I think that we really live and breathe our values at Spread a Smile in everything that we do. So we're all about, we know that these are terrible, terrible situations, but actually we're there to make those situations, that bit better or that bit easier, or to give that child or to give those families those memories during just the most difficult of times.
Now tell me, what does it mean to Spread a Smile to have the support of an organisation like Children with Cancer?
It's unbelievable. I mean, aside from the fact that we love working with you guys, we love it. Just to know that funding that you're giving us, to know at the beginning of the financial year that that's coming, that we can plan for it, is amazing. And it will help us, not only will it help us expand our work, so very exciting this year, we are going to start our in-person visits in Manchester, 2 hospitals in Manchester, Liverpool, Oxford, and we very recently started visiting in Cambridge.
So you're going national.
We're going
amazing.
national. We're going national, and that is partly what that funding will enable us to do.
That's so great to hear. Now, you must hear and see so many incredible stories of what your charity is able to do. Is there any particular personal story of it that you've seen from a child or a family that's really stuck with you?
There are so many, but there's one in particular. Not only is it stuck with me, it's such an amazing family. Actually, they're all amazing families, but this one particular child who has really benefited from everything that we have to offer. So one young man, Caden, so he's 8 now, but he was diagnosed with a brain tumour when he was 6 years old. And he was having, symptoms, blurred vision, terrible headaches. And it took 6 months for him to be diagnosed with a brain tumour. And the family live in High Wycombe, and Caden had to come to London to UCLH for proton beam treatment. And it was there that he met Spread a Smile. So he would have his proton beam treatment under general anaesthetic. And the first time he met us was he woke up one day, and Josephine, of our co-founders, was there with her therapy dog buddy. And suddenly Caden was excited. He was sitting post general anaesthetic. He was sitting up in his bed. He was stroking the dog. He was playing with him. He was giving him treats. And his mum said that day he came around from the general anaesthetic so much quicker than any other day. So imagine the family. So Caden, mum, dad, and two of his siblings had to come and stay in London while they were having this treatment. So they're away from home, away from all the comforts of home and family and friends. So one of the other things we were able to do for them is that they joined us on one of our outings. So we took the whole family to see The Lion King.
Oh, wow.
With a big group of other people. And we threw a full-on party. So it's a matinee, a full-on party before the show, where there are lots of the Spread a Smile entertainers there, and there's pizza and sweets and cupcakes and everything a child could want. And then they got to watch the show and meet the cast afterwards. And imagine, as I said, for these families, they're away from the comforts of home, but not to mention that a trip like that is incredibly expensive for a family, especially perhaps if the parents had to give up work to care for a sick child. So to be able to do those days out is just, it's incredible. And to give those families those memories in amongst everything. And then Caden also joined in with our virtual visit. So after his radiotherapy, he started having chemotherapy. And obviously he was immunocompromised at that point, so he had to stay at home a lot. So he joined our virtual visit. So he would do those either as one-to-one or group sessions. And he took part in art and magic and singing and cupcake making. And he met other people a similar age to him, so he couldn't go to school.
Right, of course.
And and that was just to say. So actually, there's this gorgeous quote from Caden where he says, "Spread a Smile, do exactly what they say. They make me smile every day."
And I couldn't have put it better myself. I've seen the work you do, and I've seen literally the smiles that it spreads, and we are so grateful for what you do. So thank you so much, Lucy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. You can find out more on our website, childrenwithcancer.org.uk, and I hope you'll join us again.